Currently, the user interface and user experience both need a major overhaul. The first issue I have is hotbars. In every other game you play nowadays, all of your weapons are currently 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. However, in this game, the consumables take up the hotbar slots. Right now, you force us to use the mouse wheel to change weapons, which is frustrating because you have to look and visually see which icon you have selected. Whereas the other games, you can just press 1, pull out a sword, press 2, pull out an axe, and so forth. The current problem is that a user needs to be able to access consumables and items while playing without having to go into the inventory. A common fix for this would be multiple hotbars. So if you pay attention to the lower right hand corner of the video, I'm going to start changing the hotbars and you can see what I'm talking about. This is the current hotbar setup that only allows for consumables. So this would be the default setup, which is your weapons, hotbar 1. Now say for example you press F2, it's going to switch to this hotbar, which is your consumables. And if you press F3, it'll take you to this hotbar, which is your runes. So for example, if we want to get back to our weapons, we would press F1 and it'll take us back to hotbar 1. Obviously the user would be able to change F1, F2 to whatever they want, for example a mouse wheel bind. You would be able to make a screen such as this where the user would be able to go in and bind specific hotbar and slot to a specific keyboard action. For example, I'm being chased by a monster, I'm low health, I have my sword out, but I want to switch to a rune of health. I could press Alt 1, which would activate a rune of health, and then it would switch back to my sword right away. So if you change the hotbars, you would also need to change the inventory screen to something as follows. So on the right hand side we have a backpack menu with different subcategories. If you can imagine, you might have 5 or so different swords that would have different damages and durability left. You would be able to click and drag one of those swords from the right hand side, your backpack, onto the left hand side, which is your hotbar management. So I could put a sword from my backpack into my hotbar slot 1. Now taking this a step forward, you should be able to also split and drop from this inventory screen. For example, if I have a sword that I don't want, I could click the sword, drag it to the drop button, and it would exit my inventory. Or I could simply select the item and press V. Likewise, if I have 10 cooked meat and my teammate needs health, I could click the cooked meat, press X, and drop 5 on the ground for him, or I could click the item and drag it to the split box. Obviously, all of these pictures that I've shown are very rough prototypes. The final versions that would go in game would be very aesthetically pleasing and easy for the user to navigate. In Rune 1, the slashes were very aggressive and fast-paced. In this game, they're very slow and they feel almost delayed when you click the mouse. In Rune 1, you could do cool combos depending on how many times you clicked and what direction you were holding. In this game, you only get one generic swing depending on your direction. There's currently no indication that you hit someone. I was trying to fight someone and it looked like my swings were going through them but doing no damage. A small hit marker on the middle of the screen would really help to establish whether or not I'm lagging, I'm missing my swings, or if I'm actually hitting them.